everybody, welcome back to the channel. I am here today with a speed build, but it's a renovation, so a speed reno. There's got to be a better way to say that, but I don't know what it is. We're here today in Brindleton Bay, near the coast. This is a beach house, and so that this little area, it's got beach access and it has cute little picnic tables and grills outside. I think it's adorable. I am excited to show you. So I picked this house because A, it was 2 stories, B, it had a lot of openness to the floor plan, which I really liked. This is for a single sim. It's kind of a big house for a single sim, but you can also divide up the upstairs if you want, or even start adding rooms to the downstairs. But I kind of wanted it to be like almost a vacation home for, you know, maybe someone who lives in San Myshuno and is stuck in an apartment but has plenty of money, so likes to go to the beach on the regular. So I didn't really do too terribly much to the structure of the house. I didn't change any walls. I did move a couple windows, maybe like just a little bit to the left or just a little bit to the right because they weren't centered or needed to go over the window or over the sink. Those kinds of changes that weren't like, you know, super duper different, I suppose. I didn't knock any walls down. I didn't add any rooms. I just left it the way that it was. I liked this back corner for a big kind of galley kitchen look. So it's not that it has a giant, you know, breakfast nook. It doesn't have a huge island or anything like that. I wanted to put plenty of storage and plenty of counter space. And I really like using these really tall cabinets. I don't know why, but I always try to put them in builds if I can. And I really like these modern cabinets that have the glass fronts. I think that's a really cool look. And then also the navy blue is really nice. I like that. Because it was coastal anyway, I wanted it to have like kind of a beach house boho feel to it. And I decided to use the space that I had, which was right here in front of these windows, because it's the only space that you have for like an eat-in kitchen. And when I was in college, I had my table set up exactly that way. So I was like, you know, it did work for me, so it can work for other people. And I decided to go with a very light flooring because, again, we're going with the very beachy vibes, very open and airy. I decided to make it the same throughout the entire first floor. I did change the wall colors, so it's not really renter friendly, but it's not a huge reno build either. And I like the way the navy of this rug, the navy of the cabinets. Gotta add a waste bin. I always try to use the trash chute, but it never ends up working right with the way that I want it to go. So I always end up having to use a normal trash can, and it makes me sad. And I always have to make cuts as to I don't want to clutter up the cabinets or the countertops with giant appliances, but also you want to have those modern luxuries. Also move that window down because it was so much taller than the rest, and I don't know why it was taller than the rest, so I made it match the others because I feel like that was a mistake. So, you know, adding things, little like looks like you live there pieces, those little clutter pieces that we take for granted in our everyday kitchens. Of course, I had to add my herbs to the wall. If you've seen my builds in the past, I always try to use those in kitchens. They're my favorite piece in the entire game. I also really like these teapots. I think that they bring in elements of copper to rooms, which is really cool. Whenever I do renos like this, I try my very best to keep things in the position with which they started. So, under the guise of the plumbing already exists, so we're just replacing the shower or we're replacing the sink. Does that make sense? It's not like you're completely gutting it and redirecting everything. It's like you just take one piece out and put another piece in. I wanted this to have a very just like cool tone spa like bathroom because it is the only one in the house, unfortunately. It's another weird thing about this house being so big but having such small areas, and it really needed more light, so I did add an above and a ceiling light. I didn't change any of the other ceiling lights in this house because they're fine. You know, why take money out of your budget for fun things like these pictures that I'm going through, or changing a light that's like you don't hate but you don't really love either, you know? You gotta make those game time decisions in house renos, and it's not a fun time, I'll tell you that. So I thought it was really important to have a fireplace in case they ever did come to visit this beach house while it was winter, maybe a little bit colder, maybe the off season to when the town isn't as crowded, those kinds of things. That's something I've always wanted to do, is go to a beach town when it's off season and just have, you know, the not super crowded roads, no, you know, huge traffic jams, no thousands of people on the beach. I feel like that would be a really nice, relaxing vacation. And I wanted to give this sim or sim family, if you decide to put bunk beds or something, fingers crossed, in the bonus room upstairs where I put the bedrooms, or where I put the bed. This also could be potentially staged for purchase. So, you know, when companies stage houses, they don't want it to look too cluttered. They want to give it that open, airy feel. So you could also think about it like that, like it's being staged, like no one actually lives here. But I wanted to give it little functional spaces. So we have, like I said, the, you know, eat-in kitchen earlier. We have more of a living room hangout area right now. And then I had something in mind, which was this eco lifestyle desk, which is one of my favorites. I think that it's a really, really cool design. So I wanted it, so I put it in there, but I had to go and cheat my way into getting it, unfortunately. Unfortunately for console players, if you do use cheats, I think that it makes you forfeit your achievements, which really sucks. I don't know why that is, but I was on console for a long time, which if you've been on my channel before, you'd know. But I wanted to give this area this own little corner of, you know, desk space. I like to use areas that are underneath the stairs as much as I can. Even if it's not directly underneath, it feels like it's underneath. And there was a bookshelf here, so I figured I might as well put one back. It's also good for if you are doing a build, or if you are doing a, like, need a certain skill, you always have to have a bookshelf to do so. So, and they look really pretty. You can put little knickknacks on them. You know, like the crystals when the lightning strikes. Those are really cool. I really do like this. I end up using a lot of the more newer packs. The Eco Lifestyle, the Nifty Knitting. There's one more that I use a lot. I can't remember what it is. I love these hanging plants. You're going to see them a lot. I'm so sorry. I apologize in advance. Went a little crazy. But I love them. Or actually, no, that's a different build where I put like 87,000 in there. No, I think this is my only hanging plant scenario. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. I also really, you know, beach house. Have some fish. Why not? Give it even more beachy feel, like you're bringing the ocean inside. I do understand that I don't think there are actual fish in there. I think it just looks cool. So that could be another moment of the house is staged for sale. You know, you could have a fish tank here if you really wanted to. And then with a giant open dining area like this, you have to have an entertainment space. And I wanted to kind of make it as symmetrical as I possibly could. wanted to make it as symmetrical as I possibly could, so I decided to try to match the wood tones as best as I could as well. So I went with more of this white natural creamish color for the kitchen and brought this fancy dining room table over here because it went well with the bar. Picking rugs is both the best and worst part of this game because you can find the perfect pattern and then it have the worst size and vice versa. However, I did want to go with more of a brighter color because I do have more reddish tones and more orangey tones in the other two rooms. So I decided to bring that also in here, but I went with a more neutral curtain scheme. And then while I was working on the curtains, figured I might as well, go work on all the other ones. Those beach sunrises and sunsets can be very bright when you're trying to watch TV or work on a computer. So I decided to put mirrors or curtains on every window that I could down here. I don't think I do upstairs because they're not as prevalent as down here. And these walls are so nice and blank and white. The dual-edged sword of white walls is that they're very clean, but they're very, what's the word? They're very sterile, very clinical, and it doesn't have a lot of character to it like a color can, or even an accent wall can. So you have to really dress that up, and I tried my best to dress it up without being too matchy-matchy. I still wanted that boho style, but along with the more natural tones of the wood, more of a pine instead of like an overly painted or even distressed look, which is what I really like in the Eco Lifestyle pack, because there are so many wood tones just in that table alone that it's nice to be able to build upon that. Talking about wood tones, just put some more on the wall. I love these prints, but they weren't really working with what I wanted, so I went with more of like a structured piece, more of a schematic almost. And these stairs had to go. Since we upgraded, we needed to lighten them, so I'm saying that we restained the treads or even painted the treads. I didn't go with the exact same flooring as downstairs. I went with the flooring that I wanted to use downstairs, but it didn't look quite right in such a large space, so I got to use it upstairs, which was nice. I also didn't change the walls for two reasons. One, I forgot. Two, I think that I forgot because it didn't really stand out as bad to me, if that makes sense. So I just kind of left it the way that it was. I love to have either 2 lamps or 2 pendant lights over nightstands, which I think is really cool. I think it's a great use of space. Pendant lights over nightstands is a great way to free up space on your nightstand if you find that you are in a small space. I tried to put as many things as I could with what the sim would need. So coming from San Myshuno, they could be a celebrity. They could be, a online personality. They could be, something in the public eye to where they have to keep their figure up. So I decided to put a workout space over here, but you always have the option to go running on the beach. Gotta love that. But sometimes it's raining, or there's too many people, or it's at night and you forgot your workout that day, or you were out on the beach all day and then now you just don't want to go back out in the heat or the cold if it's the off season. So you just want to look out the window but not have all that to deal with, and also sand. So I just kind of left, adding small pieces in with the rocking chair and the knitting. I really liked the bringing out the blue and that tapestry. Again, way more eco lifestyle, more nifty knitting pieces, which are always really fun. I did add a TV up here, which also I think has a sound system and also bookshelves, I believe, in that space as well. Added mirrors because you gotta have them when you're working out. I did put curtains on that side and some rugs because you've got to when you have hardwood floors. And so when I was done with the inside, I really wanted to keep the very black and white look because I think that that is very, very, well, it's very in these days, but it also just looks really clean. So I changed out the chimney to be a little bit more modern without going too overboard. And I wanted the darkest roof I could possibly find, and I couldn't figure out what that was until, you know, I had to go through a bunch of swatches. And I kept the windows the same and just repainted them with these dark, I think they might be black or they're really, really dark shutters to go with the roof. And the green porch didn't quite go, unfortunately, anymore. And neither did the foundation. So I wanted to really contrast that with the white ground. I didn't add anything crazy when it came to the porch. I just kind of changed the railings and the color of the stairs and the color of the flooring. You'll see in a minute. Could not get those floors to work. I don't know why. Just was not wanting to work. So I decided to keep some brown. I couldn't really tell if it was brown from the sunlight or if it was brown from the actual colors, but I liked the white behind it, so I figured it was okay. And you know, just a nice little sitting area that looks out over the picnic area, which also has a view of the beach, because it says it's right on the beach, but it's not quite. And you gotta add a few little pops of green, as much as you possibly can, to an area like this, to a house that's so black and white. As a side note, I really love this tiny little front porch and this small pop of teal when it comes to the glass and when it comes to the rug, and then also this super intense foundation. I think it's just really cool. The stairs don't match, but whatever. So we walk in the front door and walk into the dining room. I left a wall open because it could be an accent wall that's that really dark, because when you have such a light floor and when you have such a light color scheme of like the curtains and the floor and the stairs, you have the opportunity to have a darker wall as kind of a accent, but you don't have to keep it. If you want, you could paint over it. You could make it match something else. I kind of went with the neutral tones in here, the wood tones. They don't all match, but they all go together, if that makes sense. And I kind of show that through these pieces of art on the wall that match, but don't match, if that makes kind of a tie-in. Could be reaching, probably, but, you know, wanted to add that. And then you walk over here. We have the grand staircase that we will go up later. We have our eat-in kitchen. You walk in here through the little hallway seating area into the actual kitchen. Another thing is that I did leave this wall open, like I said, for either the future owners to either make an accent wall or to hang up artwork, or maybe even move this bathroom to a different part of the house, and then you could have like a pass through there or anything like that. But I did want to have as much counter space in this as possible. So I liked these retro looking appliances. I thought they were really cool. Love the touches of copper and navy blue, and this kind of off-white cream. Love our herbs. And then we walk into the spa experience bathroom because I really like this wall, and I never get to this wall covering tile situation. I never get to use it, so I thought I would make this as neutral of a palette as possible with little touches of wood tones here and there. And then some color. Gotta have some color. And you know, the linens, the textures, the just general feel of this, I think is really cool. I like it a lot. I didn't change the door on this because I figured it was very Brindleton Bay, very farmhouse style, which could either go with this or not, depending on your style. We come into the living room, which has plenty of seating for families of any size, whoever's staying here. And then we have our computer system area again, another wall that could be either painted or not. I liked it because it gave kind of this definition to this edge. The brown kind of goes with all the wood tones and also this curtain rod. So I did add this whiteboard because if this is the nexus for a working family, then you got to keep track of kids' games, you know, when certain projects are due, anything like that. But I wanted to keep the desk as neat as possible, as minimal as possible, without having a bunch of clutter on there. Same with these bookshelves. I didn't add anything special because, you know, I kind of want the Sims that live here to put their own spin on things, you know? But I do love that piece in the middle of the coffee table. And I love that I had the space to use that coffee table. I love round coffee tables like that. I think they add a lot to a space. So we go up the stairs. Extra storage is always helpful. Oh my gosh. Trying to keep this as non-glitchy as possible, but it is not one to work. Rocking chair for if somebody just needs a break from those around them. Me, when I go on family vacations, just kind of have a little nook to where you can work on whatever project you're working on and just be in peace. And then I love this little bed area. I like how the wood tones basically match, which I have a really hard time with in The Sims. I think that was a really nice find of me. So like, go me. Those prints are really cool. They go with the green of the bed, and they also go with the green of the curtains and that kind of ashy, probably oak tone. But then the light from the lamps adds a little bit more warmth to these end tables, but that's okay. It goes with, I don't know if you can see that yellow little tiny pillow in the middle, kind of has that warmth as well. And then we walk across, we probably get it all glitched out. Oh, it didn't. And then we come to the workout area, which I love the windows. I think they add a lot when it comes to making it feel bigger than it is. I just put some stools in here to rest and the treadmill, you know, nothing crazy. You can get your cardio and you can get your strength. That's pretty much what I was going for. So that was the house. I hope you guys liked it. Follow me for more builds like this. Let me know if there are any specific houses that you'd like me to redo, or if there are any problem children builds that I could maybe give a facelift to. Please like and subscribe, and I would love to hear from you guys about like what you want to see, if you like certain things or don't like certain things, if you even like build videos like this. It is October, hence the spooky season wear that you couldn't even see the whole time because my hair is way too long. But I am going to be trying to do some more either spooky builds or work with the vampires in The Sims, or even just branch out and do just like a scary game. So I would love if you guys could subscribe and hit the notification bell so you see when my videos go live. That would mean a lot. We're trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the year. That would be my goal, so that way we could get the custom URL, which I think would just be a huge milestone. And y'all are great. Please get good restful sleep. It'll help keep you healthy and sane during this crazy year, because we all need a little bit of sanity and we all need a little bit of rest. But I hope that you have a great rest of your day, rest of your week, and I love you all, and happy gaming.